Good morning.
Good morning.
The sun is finally out and it has stopped raining. We've gotten a ton of rain recently. It feels good to see some sunshine. I don't know if you can see Azalea back there in between the two of us, but we are on calf watch. She is due any day now. So hopefully we have a calf on pasture soon. That would be nice. When she had Cookie wasn't born here. He was born maybe like a month before we brought Azalea home. And the lady we got her from was like, I was out looking out my kitchen window doing dishes. I saw Azalea, and the next thing I know, I saw her calf on the ground. So she said she gave birth super easy. So we're hoping it goes that smoothly again this time.
Yeah, so Cookie was just a couple weeks old when we got him and we calf shared. And so we never actually have had a calf born here on the homestead. This will be our first cow birth. So needless to say, it was exciting, a little nerve-wracking, but I'm like, when is it going to happen? Then, of course, we had the whole thing with the pig, so I'm like, I know she's pregnant. She's definitely bagging up. All the other parts for signs are starting to happen, but I'm trying not to get too excited.
We had the vet check her a while ago, and the vet was like, yep, she is pregnant, and gave us like a time frame. Ended up being what we figured for when she was bred with Country. So it's going to be a Highland cattle Jersey cross. So it'll be cool to see what the calf looks like.
You do have your own water dish.
He likes drinking out of the buckets better.
I know, it's crazy.
So the grass has been growing and we've got a ton of rain, so it's really gonna start to grow up. We need to clean up around the roadways. I was thinking about haying all of the roadways because it would be really good hay for the cows, but it is too much to do at once and feed out wet, because you don't want to just put a bunch of wet grass out. It'll just end up spoiling and the cows will eat it and it won't be good for them. And we don't have our hay rake or teddy yet, because if we did, I would mow and then I would bale it up. So we're gonna hook up the flail mower, see what we need to do for maintenance, and then we can go out and flail mow the side of the roads before they get way too big. All right, let's get it hooked up to the 574 and see how it does.
It's only going to stall out.
I know, it does sound like it's running funny.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's got water in the fuel?
I mean, I don't know why water we're getting fuel with all the rain. Can you just get in there?
Oh. I'm getting air in the fuel filter. Let me take this off and see if there's an issue. It's definitely a fuel issue. There's a bunch of air in my fuel filter right here. So let me take this fuel filter off and see what's going on. Ooh, there we go.
You got it?
Yep. Actually, I should go get some rubber gloves so I don't smell like diesel fuel all day. We have two fuel filters on this thing. Let's check this one first, just because I saw a bunch of air in it. And then back here is the other one.
Oh.
See, it's all like,
Yeah.
it's a bunch of water. So there must have been water in the fuel. I just filled this up before we started the video.
You think that one's full of water too?
Yeah.
Guess you shouldn't have fueled up.
All right. All right, I think we got most of the water out. I think for a little while I'm going to be contending with water in the fuel. I don't know exactly what happened. I am assuming our storage fuel tank must have had water in it, maybe just because it's been sitting outside and just like all like the contraction of like the hot and cold got moisture built up in it. And then I was just pumping out and I emptied it out, so maybe there was some water just on the bottom. I don't know. We might be in good shape right now. I know it's like a light pink still, but sometimes I put on-road fuel in here, sometimes I put off-road fuel. It just depends on what's available at our local fuel stations. There's a little bit of water in the bottom of this bowl, but the rest of it is light pink. And if there was water in there, it would be separating. So I think once I dump this out, and if we don't get any more water in this bowl, I think we're good. So the fuel I just put in was off-road fuel red. And when it was pumping, I was seeing it red all the time. Only thing I can think of is I had a pocket of water in it somewhere. And I need to fuel that back up, but now I don't know. Now I don't know if I want to fuel that back up.
Right.
I don't know why that got water in it. And there's no drain plug in it, so I can't pick it up and drain it out. I think we're good. I'll put this back in, then I'll let this filter fill up, and we'll see if we got any water here. But here it looks like all pink fuel. All right, we got a little bit of water back in this system, so I'm gonna dump this bowl back out and we'll do it all over again and see how many times we gotta empty it, because this water separator filter right now, that's full of all just fuel. This was getting a little bit of fuel and water in it. And it's kind of cool that you can watch it and see when you're getting water in there. Let's try it again.
It's weird because it takes a bit.
It does. Let me try starting it and see if we can get it to run. Crack the fuel lines and bleed it. Go over here and talk. So that took about an hour and a half to get it back up and running. There was a bunch of water in there. Not sure exactly why. I'm assuming it's gonna be from my fuel tank, and I don't know if that's just from condensation or not. But what I ended up having to do is bleed the whole fuel system. I'm gonna have to buy some more filters to have on hand, because those are all TYM and nobody local is gonna have them. And then the fuel system itself still had water in it, so it wouldn't start. I ended up cracking the lines in the back of the fuel pump. It's a mechanical fuel pump, so you have to try starting the motor to do it. You can't just turn the key on and have it pump. You gotta keep cranking and cranking. So I had to start charging the battery because the battery was going low. Got most of the water out, put the fuel lines back on, turned the key, fired it up, started running. So now we're gonna let it sit idling for a while and see how it does before we try to do anything with it today. I'm seeing a little bit of water in my fuel bowl, so I'm gonna go ahead and empty both of my water separators out, and then we'll get the flail mower hooked up, get it tilted up, see if I gotta do any repairs to that before we go mowing with it. I'm thinking it was condensation that was in our transfer tank. There's water in here, but I mean, if you look at it, it looks like a lot of water, but that's really not, because you got a filter in there, so you just got a thin layer. The other filter had some in it, but it's not a lot. I'd say it's probably maybe a quarter cup of water that we've gotten out, but it's just enough to make the tractor not run. So it definitely could just be condensation. It's in a black transfer tank, so I'm thinking we've had really sunny days and then cold. Hot, sunny, so it's warming up the fuel, and then it's cooling off at night, and that's just making condensation, and then it sits on the fuel, and then I pumped it in the tank, unfortunately.
Forrest, you're crazy.
I just want to get rid of that water. That was all fuel. Now we're into water. So probably a good tablespoon right there. But if you look at all the fuel I've taken out, it's mostly fuel, just a little bit of water on the bottom somewhere.
We should do a guessing poll when Azalea's going to actually have her calf, the date.
Right, we'll have to start a poll.
Part of the maintenance, Brutus.
All right, so the fuel pickup line on the TYM is on the bottom. It just like gravity fed. So while we were sitting over there, we were like this. So if there's any water in the line that wasn't over here where the fuel pickup was, would have been over here. So I'm like, you know what, let's move the tractor, drive it around, and move the water so we'll pick it up better. And if you can see, we're probably 2/3 of the way of that bowl filled up with water versus fuel. So
at least halfway.
yeah, I'll drain it, let it run for a while, do the same thing, and I'll drive it around and see if we can get the water sloshed around.
Boy, this day is not what we expected.
It is not. I'm glad we're doing this now and not on a day we have to mow hay. I could try to drain the fuel tank. The problem is the fuel line doesn't have a shutoff. It'd be nice if they had in the fuel line a place where you could disconnect it with a shutoff so you could drain it. And then once you saw water coming out, or once you saw fuel coming out, no more water, you could shut it off and then put it back together. Because if I try to take it apart now, I'm going to be wearing fuel and it's going to just be a mess. So I'd rather take the extra time and just do it this way. I wish they had a bleeder valve on this bowl, because what they have is you go through here, when this fills up with water, it goes to this filter, and then this filter will bleed it out. But this one, there's no bleeder valve, so I got to keep dumping it out. It'd be nice if I could have bleed it out of it, but. All right, I am really curious to see if there's water in this tank. I have a little electric battery pump, so we're gonna pump into a 5-gallon bucket, and we'll see if there's water in it, and we'll let it settle to see what's going on. I have it tipped back because, I don't know, maybe a couple of gallons are left in here. So I wanna see if I can pump it out. I'm gonna use a clearish white bucket, so then hopefully we can see a line if there's water in there and fuel when it settles. So we've got diesel fuel right now by the looks of it. There's some water in there, I can tell already. Definitely water in there. Look at that. Oh my gosh, that's mostly water right now. That's our culprit. Bummer, at least we know. So I'm gonna say the amount of water that's in there is not from condensation. unless it's been condensating over a long time building up. I'm not sure. I got the cover closed, but I took the vent off of it, so it's got a hole. So I'm hoping that the rest of the water that's in there will just evaporate. We're not going to use it for a while. I have some 5-gallon pails. We're going to go fill those up because the 754 needs some fuel, and we're not fueling this up for a while. I got to make sure all that water just dries out that's in there. We got most of it out, and basically what was left was all water, just dyed red. So I'm assuming that's what got into the 574. So yeah, I had to continue getting the water out of this. I think we're close, so I'll keep working on it. I'll give you guys an update when I'm done. Ordered the place I got my last batch of diesel fuel from have water in their fuel. I don't know.
Well, what's the plan, man?
Well, I'm getting a lot of the water out. It keeps coming and going. We got a little bit in there this morning. I'm gonna drain that out. Then I'm gonna get hooked up to the mower. I'm gonna start doing some mowing. I'll have to keep an eye on that and periodically check and give it a drain. All right, there's no water right now in the fuel filter, so let's get hooked up to the mower. We'll stop mowing. We'll just keep an eye on it and see what happens. So if you guys use a 3-point quick attach, let me know what you use and if you like it. I am not a fan of this style really. Every time I go to use it, it seems like I gotta make an adjustment with this top pin, and they're not quick. I gotta take my tools out and undo nuts and bolts. I have the other style on the 754. I think I like that one better, but that one broke on me the other day, so I got a style just like that coming, just a different brand. I'm hoping it's more heavy duty. If I like that, I'm thinking I'll probably get one of those for this one too, because this is just kind of a pain in the butt.
It'd be fine if you didn't have a different piece of equipment every time.
Right. All right, let's check everything out. I can't get the flail mower to stand up on end like it's supposed to. I think I found the culprit. Right here we have this pin that is out, and I think what it is doing is it's hitting on this arm. So it'll let it go down, but it won't let me flop it over. So I gotta get a hammer, push that back in, and then it's supposed to have a bolt that holds it in, but it looks like it must have vibrated loose. So we'll get that pin back in, and then we'll should be able to lift it up and see what we gotta do for maintenance. Dang, that did not go easy. And there's no grease fittings on that, which surprises me. So right here, the frame is cracked. And then up here, the frame is cracked also. So we're gonna have to do some repairs today. So when I had this sitting straight, it wasn't doing this. So I'm thinking what happened is using this on a ditch bank going down, this piston ripped it here. They don't really have any added strength in this area. So that's definitely the weak point. And then by doing that, it probably also flexed this right here.
Forrest, that's not your tractor. You have to be in the middle of everything. Good thing you don't like loud things, so you take off.
Is that comfortable?
No worries. Forrest does not like loud noise, so anytime anything starts or hammers or anything like that, he takes off. So I know it's probably not a good place for him, but cats get everywhere and do all kinds of things, so. Oh, is that one loose?
That one's loose. All right, so we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Hopefully we got that many left over.
I have a few here.
6, 8, 10. Oh yeah. 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. So we got more than enough.
Stubborn one.
It was.
Stubborn one.
All right, I think that's all of them that need to get removed, taken off. Wow, is it hot? Now, if these ones fall off, they're all your fault.
Well, we better make sure it doesn't happen.
That's right.
If this breaks right away, I'm gonna be like, what the heck?
Oh, you're using the good stuff, eh?
I heard that's what you're supposed to use, so I'm making sure I listen.
There we go. That'll work. So that part's done. All right, let's clean this up and then we'll see if we can get this straightened up better once we got it all ground up and cleaned up. All right, let's get the tractor in here. We'll get it ready to get it welded up and fixed. Then I'm gonna reinforce it with a piece of angle iron. We're gonna go something like that. So I'll weld this all up and then I'll put my angle iron on there, weld it here, and I'll go from the bottom side. I'll have to stand it back up and weld it on the bottom. I could do it this way, but I don't think that's gonna be any stronger. I like that. All right, let's stand this up on end and then I can finish welding the other end of it. All right, now I want to weld this whole side. See what we can do. Oh, that looks pretty. I like that a lot. Not too shabby, if I do say so myself. Gonna do that. Took me a minute to get the welder dialed in, but now that I got her dialed in, and I've been using it for a minute, she's welding good. All right, let's get her welded. Well, it might not be the prettiest, but I think it's gonna do. That took quite a bit of time to fish plate in all of that, but it is done. I knew we had to replace some of the teeth. I never noticed I cracked that. I am assuming I did that when I was mowing this winter, because that's the last time I used it, and I never noticed it. I can't believe I didn't see those cracks before, because, I mean, they were good size. But we have used her, and a lot of people would say abused her, but that's what we bought it for, is doing that kind of stuff. So I am glad we got it put back together, welded up. It's not the prettiest now. It looks like Frankenstein, but she has some stories to tell. So we'll have to see how it works. I'm gonna go bring Azalea in, run out, pick up a few things for the animals, and this is where we're gonna end this video. Azalea is looking closer and closer to having her calf. I'm thinking within a couple of days. Gina thinks tonight or tomorrow. We're gonna find out. Her due date is in 3 days. So we're gonna be having a calf here pretty soon. So thanks for coming along on our homesteading journey. We are excited to get raw milk back here on the homestead. If you guys never have had raw milk, it is the best. So this is where we'll end this video. I'll try not to tease you too much about raw milk. Thanks for coming along on our homesteading journey. We'll see you guys right back here in the next one. Bye.